Imagine if every 3 seconds you suddenly forgot where you were or what you were doing. That would be a strange and disorienting way to live, wouldn't it? Well, that doesn't happen to us every few seconds, but in a sense, it happens for about a third of our lives. We call that strange state sleep. If you live to be 90, you'll spend roughly 30 to 35 years asleep. At first glance, that might sound wasteful. Why should evolution design us to spend so much time unconscious and vulnerable? Are we squandering a third of our lives by simply lying in bed? Or is sleep one of the most important biological functions we have? Let's take a closer look. One of the first things to understand is that among animals with a nervous system, not a single species has been found that never sleeps. From tiny worms to massive whales, all creatures with brains or brain-like structures experience some version of sleep. Some animals sleep in ways that look familiar to us, closing their eyes and drifting into stillness. Others get more creative. Whales can sleep with half their brain at a time so they don't drown. Certain sharks rest while slowly swimming against currents. Birds, like the common swift, have been found to nap mid-flight during migrations that last hundreds of days. Sleep length varies too. Bats snooze for about 20 hours a day, pythons for 18, and tigers for 16. On the other end, giraffes only need about 2 hours. Humans, with our average of 8, are somewhere in the middle, though babies need much more, and older adults often get by with less. The key takeaway? Sleep is not optional. It's deeply wired into the biology of nearly every creature that has a nervous system. Despite its importance, sleep isn't simply doing nothing. During sleep, the body and brain are incredibly active in their own ways. The body repairs itself. Growth hormone is released, muscles recover, tissues repair, and the immune system strengthens. The brain takes out the trash. Waste products that build up while we're awake are flushed out. Learning and memory consolidate. New information is stored, neural connections are refined, and irrelevant connections are pruned. Mental health improves. Brain regions like the amygdala and prefrontal cortex regulate emotion more effectively after sufficient sleep. When sleep is cut short, all of this breaks down. People who average fewer than 6 hours of sleep begin showing the same cognitive decline as if they hadn't slept for days. Microsleeps, brief involuntary lapses into unconsciousness, start sneaking in. Long-term, insufficient sleep increases the risk of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even early death. So, the old myth that geniuses don't need sleep is just that, a myth. In fact, consistently getting less than 7 hours raises mortality risk by more than 100% in some studies. In REM, the brain weaves together memories, emotions, and sensory fragments into bizarre narratives. Sometimes, higher brain regions activate while dreaming, and you become aware you're dreaming. This is called a lucid dream, where you can even influence the dream's storyline. On the flip side, there's the unsettling experience of sleep paralysis. This occurs when you wake from REM, but your body remains locked in its paralyzed state. Combined with lingering dream imagery, this can feel terrifying. People often describe sensing a presence in the room. Up to half of people experience it at least once in their lives. It's frightening, but entirely natural. So, how should we sleep? Once a day for 8 hours? Multiple naps like some animals? Humans today generally follow a monophasic pattern, one long sleep each night. But historically, this wasn't always the case. Evidence suggests that before artificial lighting, many people practiced biphasic sleep. A first sleep after sunset, followed by a brief wakeful period around midnight, and then a second sleep until dawn. Sleep may feel like a shutdown, but it's anything but. It's an active, vital process, repairing the body, reorganizing the brain, and sustaining the mind. Far from wasting a third of life, sleep enables the other two-thirds to be meaningful, creative, and healthy. So don't envy those who brag about getting by on 4 hours. They're not unlocking hidden genius. They're running on borrowed time. The real key to better focus, memory, mood, and longevity is simple. Get enough sleep regularly and at the right time of day. Sweet dreams.